Hi, welcome to this discussion about how the slap herd around the world is going to affect the real estate market, particularly the real estate market for us here in the United States. So I want to go ahead and begin and start showing you how this is going to have repercussions that even you and I might feel. So that's just the power of what goes on. First off, I want to welcome you in, and I'm David. I'm going to go ahead and let you know that this isn't advice per se. This is just going to be using critical thinking. I'm going to use my PhD level brain and go ahead and try to, with you, work out an analysis of what happened and why that's going to be an effect that we feel even in real estate. Okay, so we have some characters on the board. This is Will Smith. Will Smith is one of the best actors in the world. He won for Best Actor the award for Best Actor, not just for the Academy Awards, but for, I believe, the Critic Choice Awards as well. Yeah, also the Screen Actors Awards. He was sweeping every award. Will Smith is known as one of the best actors in the business, and he's been known as one of the best for decades. So he's a very, very powerful figure, one of the best, if not the best, living actor in the world currently. When you have someone of that magnitude, with that much influence, with that much visibility, with that much markability, there's just his presence is an effect on its own, like it or not, for better or worse. So let's go ahead and continue. So here we have Chris Rock. Now, Chris Rock, in his own right, is a giant and a titan. Chris Rock is one of the best comedians to ever walk the earth, male or female. Currently, Chris Rock is associated in the conversation of greats. In fact, he's associated as arguably the greatest comic of all time, and currently still considered by many, if not by universally all, the funniest man on the planet. So Chris Rock is also a titan, and when he walks into a room, things can be said that are bound to have a ripple effect. So let's go ahead and continue. So one of the reasons why we are here is because of this incident. Now, this was an incident that happened at the Academy Awards. I'm going to try to give you a quick breakthrough of the background just for the sake of explaining why this is such a big domino effect. So first off, I need you to understand the gravity of this situation. For better or for worse, these two men are pillars and arguably the best to do what they do of all time. Whenever you have someone that's the best, and not just necessarily the best, but the best of all time, they're bound to be carry an aura, a presence, and almost like a mystique level of following that's going to ooze from their presence. So what I'm trying to say is, when you have someone like Will Smith, when he makes moves, they matter. When you have someone like Chris Rock, when they make moves, they matter. When they make them on a stage like the Academy Awards, which is for them the biggest stage, that is their Super Bowl, that is their biggest stage for a comic to host it and also present jokes, for an actor to be there and to win. That's a big deal. So when you have an atmosphere like this, you have a breeding ground for moments that can have ripple effects heard around the world. And we're watching this in real time. This phenomena is a real time phenomena. Chris Rock made a joke. Will Smith's wife didn't care for the joke, which is her right. Will Smith got pretty upset when he saw his wife's reaction. Granted, he was laughing at the joke beforehand, but it seemed conclusively that he didn't like his wife's reaction. So he slapped Chris Rock at that point. Let's go ahead and continue. So what this really means is that the ripple effects is going to have a domino effect. So we look at it, and also I want to point out that Chris seemingly did not mean to offend Will's wife. When he saw visibly that she was upset, he reached out and said, "Come on, it was a nice one." He didn't mean to necessarily offend her, is what it looked like in the slap that Will did. It looks like he's very remorseful. That's has been reports in the news, and it seems by a lot of people that there was a lot going on. This slap wasn't the reason Will acted out and became physical with Chris. There was other things maybe that did not have to do with Chris that triggered Will to have this, what Will said himself was a meltdown. Okay, now the domino effect. The domino effect is going to be a bit grave. It's a bit grave because of the money that's involved with these companies. Now, we could assume that the Academy Awards feels like they're taking a hit, and I talked about this with others. I do believe the Academy Awards took a hit in popularity, but I also believe they gained a lot in popularity. So their influence in Hollywood is going to go up because we are talking about this matter. With this going up, I believe the Academy Awards are relatively happy that this happened. Granted, they don't want someone like Chris Rock to be harmed or his legacy tarnished or to feel a specific way, or Will Smith. But I do believe the attention that they're receiving from this is something that they really appreciate. So I think that the Academy Awards is pretty happy about this, and that's just because of the nature of how they're run off of ratings. Why do I come to that conclusion? Well, here's an article I want to go ahead and show you. I'm going to highlight this a little bit so you can see it a little bit better. Let's go ahead and dive in. So historically in the housing market, we can see that when there is social influence, it's got an impact and it has a background of being a factor in the housing market. So what that means is if Hollywood is becoming a more popular commodity again, if it's getting more eyeballs, if it's getting more noise, if people are generally curious, tuning in for award shows, watching some of these movies, whatever the reason, that could be the beginning of them making a comeback. As we know, there's been a big exodus from California, and not just by stars and celebrities in tech, but by average people. I live in Southern California, and we've talked about leaving California. So situations like this have an effect that could be potentially big time. And when I mean big time, it could drive in people to California. What this can do is it could continue to inflate the housing prices. It can bring them down. It can bring them up. It can bring up interest. It can bring them down. We don't know per se exactly, but we can expect that this effect to be so big because of the titans involved that it might have a particular ripple effect on Hollywood. And with that effect on Hollywood, we can assume that that's going to trickle down at some point to the housing market. This article states that that is not something that is speculative, that is a real thing. So, in closing, we can expect some sort of change. We can expect a change to be big, we can expect it to be small, we can expect it to be higher prices, lower prices. The point is, this is going to move the needle. That's how powerful it is to have heavy hitters involved. So, if you enjoyed any of that information, please like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell. We will be back with more insights. And what we try to do at this channel is give you information that can help you make decisions, be alert, and be ready to make moves. So, without further ado, I'm going to wish you well. Take care.